Good afternoon, children. Yesterday we have revised many of the concepts in the physics. I think you also revised by your own in your textbooks at your homes. We came to the end of the revision for the physical science examination. Only few hours left in our hands. So utilize the time very carefully. Whatever the hard work you have done throughout the year will be presented in the coming hours. So it is very crucial. You have to present very well. Paper presentation is very important. And moreover, diagrammatic representation is also plays a equal role. Label the parts clearly. Answer all the questions. If the time left means you have to put the heading choice and write. So yesterday we revised many of the concepts, but some of the concepts left in that. So first of all, here the diagram is on the screen. See, the lens. Here, this is a ray diagram regarding convex lens. And this is from the light lesson, 4 marks question. Whether we'll get the substance refractive index or the substance velocity of the light, giving the table and asking 4 questions like that. Otherwise, the lens diagram is given and answer the following questions. He will ask like that also. See, observe the ray diagram and answer the following questions. Which lens is used in this ray diagram? Yes, convex lens. Where is the position of the object? Beyond 2f1. Where is the position of the image? Between f2 and 2f2. What is the nature of the image? Real, inverted, and diminished. These 6 cases are very important in the convex lens. He is asking in the tabular form also. Yesterday I discussed. If the focal length of the lens, if the focal length of the lens is 10 centimeters, then what is the radius of curvature of this lens? Yes, if the focal length is 20, obviously radius of curvature is 20 centimeters. Yesterday we discussed. Is the magnification being less than 1 or greater than 1? Yes, the image is diminished, so that's why it is less than 1. If the image is enlarged, that it is greater than 1. And if the image is equal to the size of the object, then it is equal to 1. If the height of the object is 10 centimeters at 2f1, then what is the height of the image? That is 10 centimeters. Next, if you want the image size to be the same size as the object size, where should the object be placed? Obviously at 2f1, yesterday we discussed. Yes, these are all the ray diagrams of the convex lens. You have to practice well. But some of the children is, while drawing the ray diagrams, they are using the symbol for the convex lens. Better draw the convex lens and draw the ray diagrams. Use the convex lens, not the symbol. Okay. In the textbook, we are given like this only. Better follow the textbook if you have any doubt. And ray diagrams of concave mirror, these 6 cases, at infinity, beyond C, between F and C, at C, at F, between F and C. In all the cases, we'll get real, inverted, but in the last case between F and C, we'll get the virtual image, which is erect. Yes, Here, if we have observed in the pre-final and the grand test papers, the question is like this from electricity. Draw a schematic diagram of a circuit consisting of a battery of the 3 cells of 2 volt each, a 5 ohms, 8 ohms and 12 ohms resistors and a plug key. All are connected in series. 2 marks question. He is giving the information. You have to draw the ray diagram. Here all the resistors are given in the series combination. So first of all, draw all the resistors in the series combination. Don't neglect this diagram, Sama. And the battery, it is like this. Yes. If you keep the battery here also, no problem. Next, this is the key. This is the series combination of the resistors. You have to mention how many ohms is given for the resistors. 8 ohms, 5 ohms and 12 ohms. See here, you have to mention the direction of the current and the voltage of the battery. If the resistors are given in the parallel means you have to draw like this. Is it clear? These type of diagrams is asking. So better concentrate on these diagrams also. Again, another diagram, see, is on the screen also. By looking itself the question, you are able to draw that question very easy. Draw a schematic diagram of a circuit consisting of a battery of 3 cells of 2 volt with 5 ohm, 8 ohm and 12 ohm resistors connected in parallel. This is a parallel combination. So that's why see the resistors are in a parallel. Parallel combination of the resistors. Next, a key. See here, 12 ohm. Next, 8 ohm. Next, 5 ohms. This is positive terminal, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. And this is the plug key. Yes. This is a diagram. So better concentrate on these type of diagrams. Yes. While moving, next see in the electricity topic, you have to concentrate on Ohm's law verification. Ohm's law verification. Next, resistors in series, resistors in parallel. And one more important thing, we have electricity bill problem. So concentrate on the current bill problem also. That is electricity consumed per day, which is equal to the formula E is equal to NPT. E means electricity consumed. N means number of appliances given. P means power of that appliance. T means how many hours. What is the time they are using that. You have to concentrate on that type of problems also. Next. We discussed yesterday about the applications of mirrors, applications of lenses, and predict and write about the world without lenses. These are all we discussed. Why do we prefer convex mirror as a rear view mirror? Yes, but 1 marks left in our revision. Today we focus on 1 mark questions. The radius of curvature of a spherical mirror is given as 20 centimeters. It's a focal length. You will answer very easily, that is 10 centimeters. Find the focal length of the lens of a power minus 2D. See children, these type of questions are asking for 1 marks. Focal length f is equal to minus 2D. You have to calculate focal length. Here the power is given. Power. Find the focal length of a lens of power minus 2D. Power is equal to minus 2D. He is asking focal length. What is the focal length? So P is equal to 1 by F in meters. So that is equal to F is equal to 1 by P, that is equal to minus 1 by 2, that is equal to minus 0.5 meters. Here, negative sign of the focal length indicates that it is a concave lens. The concave lens is used to cure myopia. If the power of the lens is positive, it indicates convex lens and it is hypermetropia. Convex lens is used to cure hypermetropia. Next, the least distance of distinct vision for a young adult. Yes, 25 centimeters. The human eye forms the image of an object at its retina. The changes in the focal length of an eye lens is caused by the action of ciliary muscles. The human eye can focus on objects at different distances by adjusting the focal length of the eye lens. This is due to accommodation. If two resistors 6 ohms and 12 ohms are given to you, how do you connect them to get 4 ohms as resultant resistance? Resultant resistance is less than the given resistors. Obviously, it is connected in parallel combination. If the resultant resistance is more than one of the individual resistances given, then it should be connected in series. Next, see, 6 ohms, 12 ohms are connected in series and parallel. What will be the resultant resistance? Very easy question. 6 ohms, 12 ohms series means you should add that directly. 6 plus 12, 18 ohms. And parallel means 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Like that you have to do. Okay. Next, which device is used to connect, is used to protect electrical appliances from overloading? Yes, fuse. What are the characteristics of the fuse? Fuse has a low melting point. Fuse works on the heating effects of electric current. What is Joule's law? H is equal to I square RT. H is equal to I square RT. H is equal to I square RT. Here, determine the power of an electric motor. Fuse is always connected in a dash combination in the circuit. Series combination. Okay. Determine the power of an electric motor which takes 5 amperes current from a 220 volt line. Here we have, for power we have 3 or 4 formulae. P is equal to I square R, that is equal to V square by R. So many formulae are there. By interchanging the voltage, current and resistance in the Ohm's law, we will get this formula for the power, electric power. But here we are using only P is equal to VI, because in the problem it is given current I is equal to 5 amperes and current I is equal to 5 amperes and V is equal to 220 volt. So P is equal to VI. VI means obviously 220 into 5, that is equal to 1100 watt. 1100 watt. Here in the electricity lesson, symbols also plays a major role for 8 marks question and also as well as 1 mark questions. Symbols for different electrical appliances and also units of the physical quantities in the electricity lesson. Okay. First of all, see the symbols for the, see the symbols. Yes, it is on the screen. First one, rheostat. Next one, ammeter. Next one, cell. Next one, battery. What's the difference between cell and battery means? Combination of 2 or more cells is called a battery. These are all 8 marks questions we discussed yesterday from different lessons: light, refraction, here human eye, and magnetic effects of electric current, electricity. These are all. Next. Just these questions we discussed. Find the power of the convex lens having a focal length of 50 centimeters. Here focal length is given. In the before problem, the power is given. Now the focal length is given as 50 centimeters. F is equal to 50 centimeters. He asked power. P is equal to question mark. So here focal length is given in the centimeters. So you have to use a formula. P is equal to 100 by F in centimeters. That is equal to 100 by 50, which is equal to 2. The SI unit of the power of the lens is diopter. So D. So P is equal to 2D. If he asked from which defect the person is suffering from, if the person is having the power 2D means you have to write the answer hypermetropia because power is positive and the convex lens is used. So that's why it is a hypermetropia. And the same wise, find the focal length of a concave lens of a minus 2.5D. Minus means it is myopia and power is negative. So here focal length, for calculating focal length, F is equal to 1 by P is taken. We'll get the answer in meters. P is equal to 1 by F in meters or 100 by F in centimeters. Next, this is see the fifth one. A doctor has prescribed a corrective lens of power plus 1.5D. Find the focal length of the lens. This you can do. Sixth one. What is the net power of the three lenses of power plus 2.0D? minus 0.5D and plus 0.25D placed in contact. Means he asked net power. So net power P is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3. So 2 minus 0.5 plus 0.25, 1.75D. He asked only the net power. If he asked focal length means again you have to do the problem. Okay, ma? See this question, it is repeated. See the seventh question. It is repeated in our cycle test. The refractive index of diamond is 2.42. What is the meaning of this statement? What is the meaning of this statement? Refractive index of diamond is 2.42. What is the meaning of this statement? The ratio of speed of light in A to diamond is 2.42 or speed of light is 1 by 2.42 times. 1 by 2.42 times in diamond than air. 1 by. Remember it. 1 by. See, eighth question. The magnification of a mirror is -1. What is the nature of the image? In the mirror's magnification, negative sign indicates it is real and inverted. Positive sign indicates it is virtual and direct. So here -1 is given. Real, inverted and same size as the object. Okay. Next, see ninth question. These type of questions also are very important, Amma. See ninth question. A student places an object between the pole and focus of a concave mirror and claims that the image will be formed on the screen. The student placed the object between pole and focus of a concave mirror and claims that the image will be formed on the screen. Image will be formed on the screen. Evaluate the correctness of the statement. Think children, this is the last case of the concave mirror. Yes. In the last case between P and F, what is the nature of the image? Virtual and direct. Can we capture the virtual images on the screen? No. So evaluate the correctness of the statement means the student's opinion is incorrect because in this case, virtual image is formed. So it can't captured on the screen. Real images can be captured on the screen. Virtual images cannot be captured on the screen. Real image is always inverted and virtual image is always erect. This is, we have 2 marks question. What is the difference between real image and virtual image? As well as 4 marks question also there, Amma. See. 10th question, see. A ray diagram for refraction at a glass slab shows the emergent ray bending towards the normal. Evaluate the correctness of this. In the glass slab experiment, the emergent ray bending towards the normal. Towards the normal. Here see. Better for 4 marks question, 12th question A or B diagram option is there. In that we are getting a glass lab experiment diagram also for 4 marks. You better concentrate on this. See, this is the glass lab. A, B, C, D. See here, this is the incident ray with the normal, and this is the refracted ray. And here is another normal, and this is the emergent ray. If there is no glass slab, the incident ray goes in a straight line like this, isn't it? The distance between this incident, elongated incident ray and the emergent ray is called lateral shift. But here, see, this is P, Q, R, yes. PQ is the incident ray, QR is the refracted ray, RS is the emergent ray. RS is the emergent ray. See here, the question is, in the glass slab experiment shows the emergent ray bending towards the normal. He is giving that the emergent ray is bending towards the normal. Evaluate the correctness of this. Because the emergent ray bends away from the normal. Why? Here the light ray is entering from glass slab into the air. Means from denser medium to rarer medium. So it bends away from the normal. When the light ray enters from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. And when the light ray enters from denser medium to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. Okay. If the two media has the same refractive index, then the light ray does not refract. That is also important, Amma. Remember. Yes. Coming to this human eye and colorful world. This already we have discussed it since. Okay. The least distance of the distinct vision for a young adult with normal vision is about 25 centimeters. 25 centimeters. The human eye forms the image of an object at its retina. The changes in the focal length of an eye lens is caused by the action of ciliary muscles. The human eye can focus on objects at different distances by adjusting the focal length of the eye lens. This is due to accommodation. Accommodation can be done by the action of ciliary muscles. What is meant by accommodation? This is very important 1 mark question. The ability of the eye lens to change its focal length is called accommodation. The ability of the eye lens to change its focal length is called accommodation. Next, what is meant by dispersion? The splitting of white light into different colors is called dispersion of light. This color is discovered by the famous scientist who is called father of physics, Sir Isaac Newton. What is cataract? The defect in which eye lens becomes milky and cloudy. This question also important, Amma. The defect in which eye lens becomes milky and cloudy is called a cataract. And what is Tyndall effect? What is meant by scattering of light? Why the sky appears blue in color? See, what is Tyndall effect? The scattering of beam of light by the colloidal particles is called a Tyndall effect. Why the sky appears blue in color? Means due to scattering of light. Why do the stars twinkle? Stars twinkle due to atmospheric refraction. Do planets twinkle? No. Yes, the far point and near point of a normal eye. The far point and near point of a normal eye. Far point is infinity. Near point, which is nothing but least distance of the distinct vision, that is 25 centimeters. What type of image formed by the eye lens? And which type of lens present in our eyes? Yes, the image formed on the eye lens is real and inverted. Our eye lens is in biconvex lens. Biconvex lens. Here see the splitting of white light into its component colors. Yes, dispersion of light. Yes, formation of rainbow. Coming to this human eye and colorful world, yesterday we discussed about 8 marks, myopia, hypermetropia, and formation of rainbow is also important. Formation of rainbow. Next, twinkling of stars. Next, atmospheric refraction, delayed sunset and advanced sunrise. These scattering of light, 4 marks question. That is also important. You have to concentrate on these areas more. Rainbow, for that you have to draw the diagram also for rainbow. Rainbow. See this question, it is asked in a pre-final or assessments. A rainbow is formed due to refraction, dispersion, total internal reflection. Order is important. Order is asking. See here, the order is mentioned. First one, refraction, dispersion, total internal reflection, and refraction. Here see, twinkling of stars. Just now we discussed. Twinkling of stars is due to atmospheric refraction. The blue color of the sky is due to, yes, scattering of light by the nitrogen and oxygen molecules. The defect of the eye finds it difficult to see nearby objects comfortably and distinctly due to aging. Without corrective eyeglasses is called presbyopia. What is presbyopia? It is an eye defect which occurs due to the aging. The power of accommodation of the eye usually decreases with aging and can't see nearby objects as well as distinct objects clearly. This defect is called presbyopia. The change in the curvature of the eye lens can thus change its focal length. These also so many times asked a bit. What is meant by least distance of distinct vision? The minimum distance from the eye at which the objects can be seen distinctly without strain is called least distance of distinct vision. Why does the sky appear dark to an astronaut? Because there is no atmosphere in space to scatter light. Okay, so that's why it appears dark to an astronaut. It is a 2 marks question we have. Yes, this is about human eye and colorful world. Coming to this electricity, it's a very important chapter. Already we discussed 8 marks in this electricity lesson. Ohm's law verification, resistors in series, resistors in parallel, and current bill problem. Better concentrate on current bill problem and also definitions. Electric current, power, voltage, resistance, specific resistance. Concentrate on the definitions. Current definition asked means you have to write the definition, and I is equal to Q by T. What's the SI unit of current? That you have to write. Okay. Yes, coming to the 1 marks. 2 marks question, you have to read all the textual exercises questions. In that electricity lesson, we have 18th question, it seems. Yesterday I discussed in the exercise questions. Read that question carefully. Coming to the 1 marks, which device is used to protect electric appliances from overloading? Yes, fuse. Fuse has low melting point and it is always connected in the series. See, this we have discussed. Second one, if two resistors of 6 ohms and 12 ohms were given to you, then how do you connect them to get 4 ohms as resultant resistance? If the resultant resistance is less than the individual resistances given in the problem, obviously you have to connect that resistors in parallel. If the resultant resistance is greater than the individual resistances given in the problem, you have to connect that resistors in series. Okay. In series combination, the resultant resistance R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 like that. In parallel combination, 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 like that. After that, you have to do the reciprocal for that in the parallel combination. Don't forget to do the reciprocal. At last, so the physical quantity which remains constant in the series combination is current, and the physical quantity which varies is potential difference. And the ratio of the potential differences in the series combination is equal to R1 is to R2. Like that, in the parallel combination, the physical quantity which remains constant is potential difference, and which varies is current. Okay. Yes. 6 ohms, 12 ohms resistors are connected in series and parallel. What will be the resultant resistance means? You can do it very neatly. On which method we get the lowest and highest total resistances with 4 coils of 10 ohms, 8 ohms, 6 ohms and 4 ohms. Total resistance will be less means in parallel, and total resistance will be more means it is in a series. Yes, how is an ammeter and voltmeter connected in a circuit? Ammeter is always connected in series combination, and voltmeter is always connected in a parallel combination. Yes, sixth question, fifth question, very, very important, Amma. See, 1 kilowatt hour is equal to how many joules? 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power of 6 joules, or 36 into 10 to the power of 5 joules. Okay. Kilowatt hour is a commercial unit of the electrical energy. Next, how many electrons are contained in 1 coulomb of charge? In 1 coulomb of charge, how many electrons? See, what is the formula you have to use? Q is equal to Ne. Q is given as 1 coulomb. Here he asked how many electrons means N is a question mark, and we know E, the charge of the electron, 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. So 1 is equal to N into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. You have to calculate N by 1 by, how to do that? You will get 6.25 into 10 to the power of 18. Okay. See, SI units. In this electricity lesson for 8 marks also we are getting SI units of different physical quantities in the electricity lesson, and also symbols of components. It is also very, very important. You have to focus on those areas also. Yes. What is the SI unit of resistance? Resistance, ohms. Resistivity. Resistivity is nothing but specific resistance. Don't get confused. Specific resistance and resistivity both are same. The SI unit is ohm meter. Ohm meter. Electric current, ampere. Electric charge, coulomb. Potential difference, volt. Electric power, watt. Electric energy, joule. And commercial unit of electrical energy is kilowatt hour. Kilowatt hour is a commercial unit. Just now we discussed. Name a device that helps to measure the potential difference across the ends of a conductor. Across the ends of a conductor. Across the ends means then the device which is used to measure potential difference is voltmeter. It is always connected in parallel, means across the ends. Next. These are the components and symbols. These are all well known to you. Once you see electric cell, battery, plug key, open and closed. wide joint, wires crossing without joining, electric bulb, resistor of resistance R, variable resistance, nothing but rheostat, ammeter, voltmeter, fuse, symbol of fuse, C. Okay. So many times this question is also asked for this 8 marks. Still some more questions left in electricity. How much current will an electric bulb draw from 220 volt source if the resistance of the bulb filament is 1200 ohms? This is from Ohm's law. V is equal to IR. I is equal to V by R. So 220 by 1200. Have to do the calculation. As the time is not sufficient here to do the calculation. Children, you can do it, it seems. How much energy is given to each coulomb of charge passing through a 6-volt battery? This is from the definition of the potential difference. V is equal to W by Q. Here he asked energy W. W is equal to VQ. So 6 into 1, that is equal to 6 joules. An electric iron of resistance 20 takes a current of 5 amperes. Calculate the heat developed in 30 seconds. Yes, this is a problem related to the joules heating. H is equal to I square RT. So I is 5, R is equal to 20 and I is equal to 5. T is equal to 30 seconds. Okay, do the calculation. Determine the power of an electric motor which takes 5 amperes current from a 220 volt line. Already we did it. Which metal is said to be the best conductor? Silver. Which device is often used in the electric circuits to change the resistance in electric circuits? Rheostat. Which device is used to measure current? Ammeter. To measure voltage? Voltmeter. And the device which works on heating effects of electric current. This question is also covered in the 4 marks joules heating. Electric bulb, fuse, toasters, electric heaters, electric irons. This is given in our cycle test also. What are the factors on which the heat produced in a wire depend? Heat means H is equal to I square RT. I means current, R means resistance, T means time, and also nature of the material. See, on what factors does the resistance of a conductor depend? Yesterday we discussed again length, area of cross section, nature of the material, and temperature. On what factors does the resistivity of a conductor depend? Nature of the material and temperature. Yes, these are the questions. Why should we connect electrical appliances in parallel in a household circuit? Why are coils of electric toasters and electric iron made of an alloy rather than a pure metal? These are all the questions in your workbook. I think you have revised so many times. Yes, children, this is about physics part. Definitely you will score 50 out of 50 tomorrow without any doubt. I think you have revised the textbook thoroughly and also workbook. Okay, all the questions are covered. This is already revised by your branch teachers. This is not new to you. This is well known to you. Okay. Once again, I wish you all the best. Okay, children, if you have any doubts, just raise your hands. Better concentrate on the current bill problem also in electricity. Resistors in series, parallel, and Ohm's law verification. That circuit diagram also prepare well, Amma. Prepare well all the circuit diagrams. Okay. Next, in a human eye and colorful world, myopia, hypermetropia, rainbow, and the definitions that twinkling of stars, atmospheric refraction. Next, scattering of light, dispersion of light. Focus on the definitions in all the lessons, both in physics and chemistry. Maybe somewhat, if the twisting is there, means it is in 1 mark questions. Don't get confused. Just read the question twice or thrice, then we'll get the answer. Okay, write neatly without any mistakes in the paper. Don't overwrite the answers. Paper presentation should be very neat. Diagrammatic representation, following by the labeling of parts. Yes, everything should follow carefully, neatly. Write the paper well, present it well. Definitely you will come out with 50 marks. Okay. Yes. Children, any doubts? While drawing the schematic diagram in electricity lesson, first of all, see the resistors, whether they are given in series or parallel, and then draw the ray diagram and mention the ohms also there. Okay. Okay, children, all the best.
Okay, good afternoon, children. First, any doubt there, please? Last, we will not get a time to complete your doubt or anything. So first only you ask any doubt is there. Okay. Nobody is having any doubt. Okay. So like yesterday one chapter we completed and second chapter we started, but by mistake last I got one error, children. You need to correct it. Yesterday we were discussing about strong acids, strong bases, weak acid and weak base. There is in weak base, I got an error. Actually, we wrote ammonium chloride is a weak base. This is wrong answer. By an error, it happened. Ammonium hydroxide. So what you wrote yesterday, NH3 example is very important. That's what again I am saying you. Weak base example is NH3 ammonia and NH4 ammonium hydroxide. So instead of that, yesterday by mistake, it is a salt. It is an acidic salt. Okay, please correct it. Yesterday, who are there are very less numbers only coming. But anybody by mistake, if you noted it, this is by an error, it happened. You must correct it. Okay, so let us continue acid and base. Acid and base chapter, yesterday I said you will get one diagram. And many children are asking whether you can study diagrams only from physics. Diagram from chemistry is also important. It is better to see all the diagrams. Very only 2 chapters, acid and base plus physics light lesson. So many diagrams are not there. So it is better to we don't know any twisting they will give in the diagram. So far they don't worry. So far they never asked any twisting. Direct diagram only they are asking from physics and chemistry. So nothing to worry about it. Even then, for our confidence, chemistry chapters diagrams and physics chapters, the 2 chapters diagrams, clearly once you see, write the parts and take half page, that is 4 mark questions. And another 4 mark question is also from acid and base. What is that 4 mark question? Important questions once I will discuss. So 4 mark questions you are getting came from chemistry side. Both the 4 mark questions are from acid and base. Again, in 1 mark section like this, you get different examples, right? Some examples yesterday we discussed: strong acid, strong base, weak acid. Next, acidic oxides, basic oxides. Examples they will ask: amphoteric oxides. So in this first one, all metallic oxides are basic oxides and non-metallic oxides are acidic oxides. You can write any example. Basic oxide means like calcium oxide. Any metallic oxides are basic oxides. Sodium oxide, potassium oxide. Here you can write carbon dioxide, and also you can write sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide. All are acidic oxides. Next, amphoteric oxide definition also they can ask. Study it separately. What are amphoteric oxides and give examples. So amphoteric oxides can react both with acid and base to form salt and water. Amphoteric oxide react with bases and acids to form salt and water. Lead oxide, aluminum oxide, zinc oxide, all are example for amphoteric oxides. This is also in 1 mark section or even in 2 mark section they can ask, but 2 mark sections are not there from this chapter even then already. So this is one question. Another one important question. So only important questions now let us see from this one. What is neutralization reaction? Neutralization reaction. Sometimes they will ask. Sometimes they are asking, write an example for neutralization reaction. So the reaction between an acid and base to give salt and water is called a neutralization reaction. Any one example you can write a neutralization reaction. NaOH plus HCl gives NaCl plus H2O. So any one reaction you can write as example for neutralization reaction. So neutralization reactions are exothermic reactions. I think that's not required in this one. Here they will ask you only example. Okay. Neutralization reaction. Now, what is the other topic is importance of pH in our everyday life and what is pH? What is pH and how to, there again in objective, again in this 1 mark question they can ask about indicators, acid base indicators. They can ask you what are the important acid base indicators and how the color of acid or base change. Next, what is universal indicator? Another one is what are olfactory indicators? They can ask these 3 questions. So what is the color? That is even they can ask you in 4 mark section like table. They will give you this acid base chapter. They will give you different solutions like hydrochloric acid. What we don't know, different solutions and different indicators like blue litmus, red litmus, methyl orange, phenolphthalein, like that they will give you. And what is the color change you have to write? Middle, they will give a gap, that one. So very clearly you understand it is. So acid changes, what color of the litmus into which one? Next, methyl orange. Remember, it is acidic solution, maximum everything is red in color. Methyl orange is red in color. Methyl orange is yellow in basic solution. Methyl orange is red color in acidic solution. Phenolphthalein is colorless in acidic solution, but it will get a pink color in basic solution. So like that color chart they can ask you in one table form, and it can come in 4-mark section, because 8-mark section questions are not there. 4-mark means 4 blank. The table will be and so I said you this 4-mark question one is this one, this question. They will give you indicators. Another one is strong acid, strong base, weak acid, weak base, one question. And another 4-mark question is uses. What are the uses of bleaching powder uses? What you need to study is bleaching powder uses, baking powder uses, and next washing powder uses, and plaster of Paris uses. These uses are very important in 4-mark section. Every time if you observe the question paper, you can see in 4-mark section acid and base we are getting uses. Okay, bleaching powder, baking powder, next washing powder, and even plaster of Paris. And there is one more question in 1-mark section, plaster of Paris and gypsum. How do you get uses of plaster of Paris is also there. Uses of, what are the uses? Plaster of Paris is used for this roofing, roof sealing. It is used. It is used in medical for fractured bones. It is used. Next, plaster of Paris is calcium sulfate. Calcium sulfate, when is mixed with water, it becomes a strong substance like a cement. Cement, it is mixed with water. It changes into gypsum. So it is a strong substance like cement, but it is weightless. So it is used for the fractured bones in medicine and for making idols, making different items and all they are using. So that equation also you have to study. Then there is another one more is plaster of Paris is stored in a moist container vessels. Plaster of Paris. Otherwise, what happened to plaster of Paris? When it gets any moisture or water molecule, it will become a rock solid, white color solid. So we cannot use it after that. You know, cement, what happens? Cement powder. If you add some water to cement powder, it will become a rock solid. The same thing will happen if you add water to plaster of Paris, or else plaster of Paris itself will absorb the moisture from the room and it will become useless, or it will become solid. After that, we cannot use it. You can't change that one. So that is why plaster of Paris is stored in a moist proof container. That is one question. So acid base indicators. Next, some natural indicators. Some natural indicators means like litmus. Litmus solution is a natural indicators. Red cabbage leaves, turmeric powder. These all are natural indicators. Natural acid and base indicators. What are olfactory indicators? Olfactory indicators generally will not change its color. So remember that is, it will not change a universal indicator. What are universal indicators? Universal indicator is a mixture of different dyes which changes its color in acidic solution and basic solution. That is universal indicator. But olfactory indicators will change its smell, not its color. It changes but its smell. There also example is very important. Vanilla essence, clove oil. So this all are example for olfactory indicators. Onion is also an example for olfactory indicators. Next, strong acid, strong base, acidic oxide we studied, neutralization we studied. Next, pH. So pH scale. And what is the definition of pH? pH is the negative logarithm of H plus ion concentration, pH. And if the pH value is 7, when the pH is equal to 7, it is neutral. And the pH is less than 7, it is acidic, and the pH is more than 7. So 7.1 to 14, it is basic. This also how many times we studied it. So there also they will give you the pH value. So again, Okay, pH value they will give you, then they will ask you what is acid, what is select, like that they will ask you questions. Next, there is chlor-alkali process is there. That diagram also you have to see. Chlor-alkali process diagram you need to see. There is one another important question. What are the product obtained? And in 1 mark question, what is brine solution? Also they can ask you what is brine solution. What is brine? Brine solution no need. What is brine? What is brine is a solution of sodium chloride in water is called brine solution. So electrolysis of brine gives what are the product obtained in electrolysis of brine. So that is also an important question. You will get sodium hydroxide and what are the product hydrogen and chlorine. That is also in 1 mark section. So 1 mark section from where you we get the question we don't know. Maximum questions you need to once you need to go to textbook and all these 1 mark sections. It is mentioned there, all that you need to prepare our 1 mark section. Okay. Next, what are the right any one application of pH? pH we studied so many applications of pH. pH of our stomach, which acid is produced in our stomach, hydrochloric acid. pH of our mouth, if the pH of mouth is less than 5.5. So our mouth will become more acidic and mouth ulcers all will be formed. pH of our mouth. So the toothpaste what we are using is a base. This two will neutralize. Then pH of our soil. So pH of our soil, what we are using? We are using different type of fertilizers depends upon the pH of our soil. Generally, the pH of soil is it is slightly acidic, 6 to 7.5. Some it will be there. So it is slightly acidic to neutral, that pH. The pH is more of the soil is more. We cannot do any cropping in that soil. So if the pH is more acidic, generally pH will be more acidic only. We will add basic fertilizers to it. And very rare cases only we can find. Now, next I said you formula you need to study. What are the formula of bleaching powder CaO? Cl2. What is the formula of sodium? Sorry, washing powder or washing soda, baking soda, plaster of Paris, gypsum. Formula and uses very important. All this one. Every time, maximum time 4 mark section, the question coming is write any 4 uses of which one, baking soda or bleaching powder. That uses very clearly without any confusion. Please study it is. Okay. Next one important question is uses after what is water of crystallization. In 1 mark section, they can ask you what is water of crystallization and give some example for water of crystallization. How can you remove the water of crystallization? Acid and base we have problem. 4 mark question. 4 mark question one, and I'll say you some important questions also I said you. So water of crystallization first let us understand it. So for example, CuSO4 5H2O, sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, 10H2O. So in this water of crystallization is the number of water molecules present with 1 formula unit of a salt. The number only you need to write it. So the water of crystallization is here 5. Water of crystallization is here 10. So the definition of water of crystallization is the number of water molecules present with 1 formula unit of a salt. That is water of crystallization. So in this, if they are asking what is, so read the question carefully or write example. We don't know what type of question they will ask. Every question you read 2 times. They asked, sometimes they will ask you define what is neutralization. Sometimes the question is write an example for neutralization reaction. Both are not the same. If they ask you what is the example for neutralization, write the example only in 1 mark section. No need to explain what is neutralization reaction. If the question is define neutralization reaction, you define what is neutralization reaction. If you write one example also, there is nothing wrong in it, but definitely you need to define neutralization reaction. Okay. Water of crystallization, next. plaster of Paris and gypsum. These are the most important questions from acid and base. Again, let us see metals and non-metals. Third chapter, metals and non-metals. In metals and non-metals also, we have 8-mark questions. So that 8-mark questions, first I will say you what are the, I feel, most important 8-mark question. So in this 3 most important 8-mark question is there. 8-mark questions are there. 3 most important questions. Questions, what we are saying is most important means most probabilities to come into the exam. The other questions also you need to study. Okay, but the government gave some books. Now all the books and previous years public examination, all what we are seeing only we are saying as most important questions or stock questions. Most important questions you by head each and everything. At the same time, other question also you read one time. Don't go without reading. We cannot predict which question is the which question will come tomorrow. But in every year we have chances. These questions have more chances to come. And I hope I already said you in this chapter, what are the conditions? The conditions favorable for rusting of iron, one question is there. So one experiment is there with the nails, 3 nails keeping in 3 test tube. So many times we asked that question in FA, essay and pre-public also. So that question is very, very important question. See it very carefully. Another one question is the one question what generally children are asking. Do we need to, that is a diagram, in that one diagram also is there. Do we need to draw diagram for this 8-mark question? You need not to ask to the invigilators, because invigilator coming to your class may not be a physics teacher. So if diagram is there in that essay question, you need to draw the diagram. Don't leave the diagram. 100% you have to draw the diagram, and when you are drawing the diagram, last corner one small diagram, don't do like that. When you are drawing like that, they may cut your 1 mark or 2 marks. The diagram is also a part of that one. So draw the diagram very clearly. Take it. We don't have any problem with the number of pages. Only 50-mark question is PS and NS. So no problem. We are writing only 3 essays. There also one more point I want to say. Essay question, I think from first chapter, maybe balancing the equation coming tomorrow. Balancing the equation from first chapter. Otherwise, anyone experiment will come. So balancing the equation also anywhere we don't know, by mistake you get a error or something, you know, even then. So time is there. You don't see left and right. You write the choice question also. Okay, choice question you can write. Time will be there, because our 8-mark questions in 1-mark section very small. Within 5 minutes you can complete 1-mark section. Next 3 questions only in 2-mark sections, that is another 10 minutes. Next 3 questions only in 4-mark section, that half an hour if you take, then again we have so much time left. So don't, even diagram section you have choice. Question number 12, choice is there. Question number 12 means it is diagram section. In this diagram section, choice there. You can write both the diagrams, both one. Anywhere, any small mistake there, why should you lose the mark? So 12th question is there. Next 15, 16, 17. These are 8-mark questions. Here also you will get the choices. And we have enough time. So please write. If at all you are sure about your answer, also you write the choice. And anywhere you have a doubt, this answer is not perfect. You forgot one line or you forgot one equation, then definitely you need to write the choice question. Where we get a full mark, we can't predict it. So depend upon the valuation and all, even if you write also, there may be a chance to lose the mark. So write the choice questions also. So already I said you here, what is the most important in metals and non-metals? Most important question is rusting. Rusting of, and the conditions favorable for the rusting of iron. One important question is there. And another one is, what is rusting and how can you prevent it? That is also another question for 8-mark question. What is rusting? And yes, And another one is metals react with metal salt. One experiment is there. And most important 8-mark questions I am writing here. And next one is metals are good conductors of heat. Prove with an experiment. I am not writing full question. Time is wasted. That is what metals are good conductors of heat. You can understand by seeing this one. Full sentence not. Metals are good conductors of heat. These 3-4 questions are the most important questions from 8-mark section from metals and non-metals. And here again 1-mark section there, 1-mark questions there. What are the important properties, physical properties of metals? Okay, you take a screenshot or something, no problem. What are the important physical properties of metals? Malleability. In simple word, you can remember malleability. Malleability means making thin sheets of metal. Before last year, one question came. Which metal is most malleable? They gave some option that was in a 1-mark question. You will get multiple choice questions, filling the blanks, assertion and reasoning question. Assertion and reasoning question, you read it twice or thrice. Sometimes that question you may feel it is correct, but after that, so that question you have to read many times till you understand. Otherwise, leave it for first and last. You can write optionally. You need to write A, B, C, D. Okay, you can 1 line space, you can leave it. Don't write it very fast and don't try to avoid cutting. Objective paper, actually previously cuttings are not allowed. So don't, if at all you want to write something you cut it properly and write again clearly. Don't overwrite it. Overwrite is not allowed. Don't overwrite. Even cutting also not allowed. But if at all there is no way, what we will do? You cut and write neatly. Then, okay, we are discussing about the properties of metals. One is malleability. The question, I stopped the question. What was the question is which metal is most malleable or ductile? I don't remember that is. But most of the children, the most malleable and ductile metal is gold. Gold only you have to write the answer. Whatever there, copper will be there because copper only in electricity lesson always we discuss about the copper. Copper is also malleable. Copper is also ductile. But our answer is not copper. Gold is the most malleable metal. Gold you need to write. So malleability means making thin sheets. Ductility means drawing into very, very thin wire. Like a thread, we can draw. Wires all will be the small thread type. That property is called ductility. Next, sonority is there, making a ringing sound. If you beat them, it produces a ringing sound. That is called sonority. Lustrous. Metals have a shining surface. That is called lustrous. And metals are good conductors of heat. If they are asking you write any 2 physical properties of metal, you can write metals are good conductors of heat. Metals are good conductors of electricity. And metals have a shining surface called lustrous. Metals can be drawn into very thin wires called its ductility. Metals can be made into fine, small, thin sheets. That is called malleability. Okay, these are the properties, physical properties of metals. Next, reactivity of metals also you need to see. That also in 1-mark question they can ask how the metal react with acid and base. Very important. Metals react with acid, base is very important. In acid base chapter also that properties you need to study. And how this acid react with one important point that time I forgot. Carbonates and bicarbonates. Carbonates and bicarbonates, the same question they can ask you in the 4th chapter. Acetic acid we are studying. Then there also how acetic acid react with the carbonates and bicarbonates. That separately you have to study what gas will be. So when metals are reacting with the acid react with the metals, generally hydrogen gas will be produced. And carbonate and bicarbonate, carbon dioxide will be produced. So some metals when react with nitric acid, nitrogen oxide is produced. That question also you remember that is. So this property is what malleability, Sonority. Sonority means making sound. Ductility and conductivity. So example for that, they may ask you, examples also they are asking. A non-malleable metal or non-ductile metal. So the first one is you can write mercury. Mercury is a liquid metal, it is not malleable. Other ones ways you can write zinc. Zinc is also, zinc you can make, but it is not so much malleable. It will be, if you beat zinc, it will become powder. But battery cases and all there. So generally, it is tungsten, all considered as non-malleable metals. Next one question is there. Which metal can produces hydrogen with nitric acid? In our textbook only there. So textbook, who are reading textbook, the beginning of the metals and non-metals, some assumptions are given. That assumptions once read, this question is very important. Write two metals who can produce hydrogen or who can displace hydrogen from acids question is there. So the example, so the answer is magnesium and manganese. Magnesium can displaces hydrogen from dilute nitric acid. Next in that chapter, it is their formation of ionic bond. Formation of ionic bond. Especially you study NaCl, MgO, CaO. This one you study. This three formation they can ask in 4-mark section. Or even one next you have to study electron dot formula. So what is the electron dot formula of molecule they can ask? For simply one atom, sodium, what is the electron dot formula of sodium? We write the symbol of sodium and how many valence electrons are there? One electron. We will dot, this is electron dot formula. Electron dot formula of molecule also they can ask you the diagram. So all once see in 1-mark, 2-mark sections. Next properties. So here ionic bond, these three, at least NaCl, MgO, CaO, the formation of this one cation, anion, 3 steps you can write it. Formation of cation, formation of anion, and formation of the molecule. This one. All we cannot discuss the time limit already I said you. Okay. Next, properties of ionic bonds. This one also 1-mark, 2-mark, 4-mark they are asking. Properties of ionic compounds. What are the important properties of ionic compounds? Properties of ionic compounds. So ionic compounds are existing generally as crystalline solids. Ionic compounds are soluble in polar solvents like water. Ionic compounds containing or ionic compounds having generally high melting point and boiling points. So these properties, that properties one see. Ionic properties, ionic compound properties. There they can ask you why they have high melting point and boiling point. So two, ionic bond is formed with a strong force of attraction, electrostatic force of attraction. So it is not very easy to break this force of attraction. That is the reason they have high melting point and boiling point. Next, metals and non-metals. We are one extraction of metals. There another question is what are minerals, ore, and gangue, calcination, roasting. This 1-mark question, this is mineral. What you need to study is definition or definition plus examples you have to study. And they will give you one, textbook it is there that you see. What are the metals? For example, they are giving one bauxite. What is the metal present in bauxite? Aluminium. Like that also questions they can ask you in a first chapter. So see all the names of the minerals, sorry, ores are given. So what is mineral? Definition they can ask you, what are minerals? Mineral is we can write an element or compound of a metal which exists naturally on a earth crust is called a mineral. So then what is ore? Ore is the chief mineral of a metal. Ore is the chief mineral, or ore contains a maximum percentage of the metal, or from ore you can extract the metal profitably and economically. So for the work will be easy and which give you more profit. Economically, you can extract the metal from those. So the chief mineral is called ore. The chief mineral. Main mineral is called ore. Mineral can be any compound of the metal or element of the metal. So generally, naturally, we are getting from earth crust. That is called a mineral. But what is ore? The ore contains maximum percentage of the metal, or ore is used to extract the metal profitably, and that is ore. And what is gangue? This mineral and ore are what we are getting from the earth crust, so which contains lot of impurities. The impurities, the unwanted impurities present with the ore is called a gangue. The unwanted impurities which we need to remove from the ore is called a gangue. And calcination and roasting is the metals, are the methods used in metallurgy. So calcination means heating the ore in the absence of air is called calcination. Heating the ore in presence of air is called roasting. Roasting is heating the ore in the presence of air, and calcination is heating the ore in the absence of air. These questions also in 1 mark section, important questions. Mineral ore. And there one more important question is there. What are thermite process and what is the use of this thermite process? Okay, questions only I am writing here. Maximum, most important questions I am writing here. What is thermite process? Thermite process. And thermite process. What is the use of thermite process? So thermite process is actually a reduction process. So in which a low reactive metal is extracted by a high reactive metal. Thermite process, during this process, for example, thermite process, lot of energy is, heat energy is evolved. This energy is utilized for the welding of railway tracks and welding of machinery parts. That is the main use of thermite process. And write two metals found in the nature as in its free state. Which metals you can find in the nature in its free form? Gold and silver, you can write a gold and silver maximum you will get in the free form, because why they are getting in the free form is because they have very low reactivity, that is why. And which is the most abundant metal on earth crust is aluminium. Most available metal on earth crust is aluminium. Gold and silver you can see in its free state. How do you extract highly reactive metals? We studied, there are two questions are there. What is the general method used to extract highly reactive metals or the top reactivity series metals, and why we are not using the reduction process? So what is the general method is electrolytic reduction. We are using general method of electrolysis of their molten chlorides. Electrolysis of their molten chloride method we are taking. Electrolysis method, highly reactive metals we are using, because reduction of they are very strong oxides. Their reduction is not very easy. That is what we are taking that method. Next. One another question is there. What happens when magnesium is heated to its ignition temperature? Magnesium is heated, it reacts rapidly with oxygen in the air. And name any two metal which displaces hydrogen from HNO3. That already I said you magnesium and manganese. Next essay question I already said you experimental setup for rusting of iron. Metal react with other metal salt. This one already I said. And let us go to one's very fast. Let us go to one's last chapter. That is chemistry of carbon compound. Chemistry of carbon compound also we get to one 8-mark question. So in 8-mark question section, let us do first. Most probably 8-mark question is table based question. Very easy question. It will be very easy. 2 type table based questions are coming in that one. So before that 2-mark section, substitution reaction and addition reaction is important. Next, what are all, our time is very less, only 10 minutes we left. So I cannot say you all what are isomers. Isomerism is very important. Next, homologous series, very important in 1-mark section or 2-mark section. Homologous. And next series also they can ask you. They will give you what they are giving. We don't know. It may be alcohol. It may be acid, alkenes, anything they can give, and they will ask you to find the next homologue. So just you add 1 carbon and 2 hydrogen. That is the answer. If you add 1 carbon and 1 hydrogen, you will get next number, next member in that homologous series. You will get by adding a carbon and a hydrogen. Okay, that is one. Next, I said you that 8-mark question, table based question you will get. In table based question, generally they are giving here number of carbon atoms. Okay, don't see now writing and all time now there. That is why number of carbon atoms they will give. And so like this they will give you number of carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4. And here they may be giving you the alkanes. What is the name you have to write? Alkane, alkene, and maybe one more like this. Alkynes. So when number of carbon atom is 1 they will not give because there is nothing is there. So number of carbon atom is 2. Here the dash is there. So 1 is what? Methane. Like that, you need to fill all the columns. Very carefully you fill all the columns. Very easy this one. Sometimes they may be asking the formula. So here what is given middle there it is something is given CH4. So like that, if they are given the formula, you need to write the formula in all the columns. Now, if they are giving the name, you need to write the name. This is one column, one table-based question. Another table-based question is functional group. Functional group also you need to see what is a functional group. Only 4 or 5 are there in the 10th class. So that one very easily you can see what acid is there, alcohol is there. So that functional group also table-based question it will come. Just substitution reaction and addition reaction, and what is the use of addition reaction. So addition reaction you can say, so oil is changing into unsaturated oil is changing into fat in presence of a catalyst. So this is called hydrogenation of oils. This is an example for addition reaction. And addition reaction, unsaturated hydrocarbons undergo addition reaction. And substitution reaction, saturated hydrocarbons undergoes. Then what are hydrocarbons? Definition of next, catenation. What is the definition you need to study in 1-mark question? What are isomer? Catenation also important. Forming long chain of atoms of same element. Long chain of atoms of the same element is called catenation. Isomerism. Next, homologous. Allotropy. Existence of the same element in different physical form is called allotropy. So all these questions you need to see. I'll say you naming a compound, isomerism, combustion reaction. What is combustion reaction? And addition reaction, substitution reaction. Next, physical properties of and comparison between ethanol and ethanoic acid. Ethanol and ethanoic acid. Very important. Ethanol, they may ask you compare the physical many times you wrote the test. Okay, this all are not, nothing is new question to you. All these questions, that's not very, very fastly we are going. All these questions we studied so many times. Ethanol and ethanoic acid, pre-public question also there. Okay, so government pre-public question also, once you see, we gave you government pre-public questions, government grant test questions paper also we gave. We discussed that questions in the classroom. See all those questions. In all, you will get almost the same questions. So time problem also don't say after now time not there. Now already revisions completed, different questions you take, only see the question. If you do not know the answer to any one question, then that question only you need to discuss it. Remaining everything is completed. Okay, ethanol, ethanoic acid, their properties, uses of this both, uses of ethanol and uses of even ethanoic acid. Next, soap molecule, structure of soap molecule and structure of miscellany. Structure of this answer also, we cannot say that much time also not there. So I'm writing this one. Just after that you study what is miscellany and difference between what is esterification and what is saponification. Differences between esterification and saponification. One example also you need to study. Okay. We have only 2 more minutes, children. Any? Okay. So nothing to worry. You need not to feel anything. First, only one thing is there to remind you what is that is some indirect questions will be there. Application questions all will be there. So direct questions already, even the question is direct question, read the question completely. Read the question completely. Then only you need to answer. Next, indirect questions, think twice. You think twice, that is only the required or correct answer. Then only you proceed to write the answer. After writing, I said you yesterday, sometimes question paper will be containing what here 2 question, for example, 8 mark question, we said table will come and all. Tomorrow one another question can come. So they are asking you 17 question, they are asking you what are the property, A part is there, what are the properties of or compare the properties of ethanol and ethanoic acid. That is A part, compare the properties. And B part, write the uses, two uses of ethanol and ethanoic acid. Like this A part and B part questions, there means by mistake you are writing A part and you are thinking the question is completed and you are leaving it. So once more come by and check our answer is correct and confirm that our answer is correct. Then only you go to next one. Okay. So no problem, remaining time utilize for first I said you yesterday all textbook questions 1C, 1 mark question, 2 mark questions, all textbook questions you see. And whatever we studied once more you make sure about it. Read the question carefully and write it well. And I wish you all the very best students. Write the exam very nicely. You can write very neatly the exam. So many days we practiced, you know, how many days we practiced, how many exams we wrote. So no, don't feel any tension to write the exams. Only you write carefully that exam. That's only. No question will be tough. No question will be unknown to, no answer will be unknown to you. Only the problem is while writing, take care and write the exam with good handwriting. Give space, underline everything. Write maximum 1 mark questions in single page. Some question the answer is in first page, some in last page, not like that. Maximum write in 1 page. So all the very best.